What do you get when you combine beloved Grammy-nominated band Trivium with Bogren Digital? You get 3 new Ampknob plugins. Let's go over them. This is the first one here. This is the Trivium Rhythm Ampknob. I love the graphics on this thing. Look at it. It's like we have a dragon here. We have dragon skin Tolex. It's really, really cool looking. Now, if you are familiar with the Ampknob products, they still do a lot of the same things here. We still have the riff recorder. We still have the metronome, the tuner, all of that good stuff. If you're not familiar with the other Ampknob plugins, I will leave a link down in the description below. But there are some changes to the 3 Trivium Ampknob plugins. Let's go over those. So you can see when we load it up here, it is very familiar. We have the one big gain knob here that controls our overall gain. Now, what's great about the Ampknob plugins, and I use these all the time for this exact reason, they allow you to get to the tone very quickly. Like, there's not a lot of stuff here to distract you. You can pretty much just load this up on your guitar track and get instant mix-ready tones. But again, like I said, there are some changes to this one. You'll notice that we have this boost switch here. Now, that is not uncommon. There are definitely boost switches on other Ampknob plugins, but the way this one works is different. I think of this more like a channel selection switch, really, than a boost, because if we go to the green channel here, and let's dial the gain all the way back. Let's even put it on the neck pickup, because why not? We have a clean tone that also has some reverb on it. So really, really cool, very usable clean tone, and you don't have to mess with the effect. It's already just there for you. It's baked in. I like that. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Let's go to the orange channel now. Maybe put the gain at about 5. You'll notice all of the tones with this Ampknob plugin are very, very tight. They're very percussive. It's very good for rhythm, as the name would imply. Let's max out the gain here on the crunch channel. Very, very fat and warm sort of distortion sound. Let's go back to the boost with the gain at 10 and see what the difference is. More tight, more articulate, more metal sounding. You know, to me, if you were looking for a modern metal rhythm guitar tone, this really covers the full spectrum here. And another thing that I think is really cool about the Ampknob plugins and will make them useful is not only are they easy to dial in because you literally just have one knob, but this whole range is really, really usable. It's not like you get up to gain on 10 and it just becomes like blown out and unbearable. Sounds very good with the gain at 10. I must say. Now, all of the Trivium Ampknob plugins use the Bogren IRDX technology. You can see the IRDX logo here. And we do have two different cabinets. So here's the modern cab. Here's the vintage cab. And you can hear the difference in those cabs. The modern cab is a little bit more scooped in the mids, a little bit thicker of a low end, whereas the vintage cab has a more pronounced mid-range, but less low end. And of course, you can load your own IR in here as well, or you could just bypass the cab completely if you wanted. So that's fun. Okay, so in this trilogy of Ampknob plugins, there's one more guitar plugin. It is this one, the Trivium Lead plugin. Again, very cool artwork. And if you look at the Tolex, it has that Bogner pattern on it. I wonder if they're hinting at what this amp is based off of. This is what it sounds like when you load it up. We've got this really cool ping pong delay effect here. You can see the knobs that we have here. We just have the one gain knob. Let's turn that all the way up. It's a really cool sort of classic lead guitar tone, and I think this amp knob is actually more useful in a lot of ways. I get questions a lot about dialing in guitar tones, especially for mixes, and you know, most of the rhythm stuff is like EQ based. Well, these already have the EQs baked in. You don't really need to worry about that at all. They're mix ready. But I also get a lot of questions about effects and like what order path of effects, and it took care of that also. So you don't have to think about that. You just have these switches here to turn off the coarse and the delay. This is what it sounds like without those. This actually works really well for rhythm too. There's more compression going on here, less noise gating. You can tell the gain texture is a bit different than the other one. So let's do something here. I'm gonna go in, all of these amp knobs have this gate setting. I'm just gonna go in here to the gate. I'm just gonna turn the threshold up here so the gate clamps on so we could use this more like a rhythm. Yeah, now our gate is clamping down much, much quicker. So let's go back here and let's turn the gain down. And it's not as compressed. Let's put it there at about 6. Let's turn the effects back on, and you'll notice this tiny little open tab here. If we click that, we actually have extra controls for the effects. Whereas the Trivium Rhythm amp knob has more tones, but you don't have any effects besides the one that's already baked into that clean channel. So we can get crazy here with the chorus. Maybe let's turn the feedback up and the level. And if we don't want that ping pong effect, we can turn it off. And of course you could sync this to the tempo, either the metronome here or the one in your DAW if you wanted to. Okay, we have one more. I gotta switch instruments here because it is a bass knob plugin. And last in the lineup, but certainly not least, we have the Trivium bass knob plugin. Super simple controls. We just have the one gain. And there's a drive button. We can turn that off. And we can crank it up with the drive if we want. Alright, if you guys like this video, make sure to let YouTube know by hitting the like button. If you like what I do here on this channel, consider subscribing, or better yet, joining us over on Patreon, where you get early access to videos and all sorts of perks like that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.